Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I'm trying to record this shit.
What was it? The person, 30 years old, his name was Danny. He came to retreat.
Yeah.
And after the class, when he was trying to ask me questions, he's like super energetic. And he was like holding like a cup of coffee. And he's like, sorry Tabe, I speak really fast. I'm actually addicted to caffeine. And he has like, that was like his 4th cup of coffee that day.
Wow.
And there's like a teacher, there's like a helper in the class as well. We were talking to him. And he just asked me like, what are ways I can try to live more stress-free, because it feels like he's trying to practice meditation, but then he becomes super anxious whenever he practices meditation because he starts to worry about someone emailing him about his work, his relationships. He has a very high demand job, and he needs to be like on call like immediately for people. And I was like, we need to really pretty much structure our time just to block out everything, because when you have your phone there with you, your mind will suddenly trying to think of it, and you have to pick it up and look at your notifications each time. And I was just starting to put his phone somewhere else to try and intentionally try to break that habit. And I noticed his mannerisms as well. He's talking really fast. When he's talking to me, he would look left and right like constantly. And I just told him that you need to
relax.
The habits are very hard to break. Like, even though I told him you were doing this way, he would like slow down for a bit and then come back into it. I just realized like, sometimes when you have these habits, you have to be very intentional, and it might be a long time to break them. But he said thank you because he has been a bit better compared to before. He has been attending the meditation retreats as well. So don't be too hard on yourself if you find yourself relapsing, because that's a normal part of the process.
No, I relate to that a lot, quite a bit, because like I'm always like, I feel like I have a productivity anxiety issue. Where like I think a lot and I can't stop thinking, and like that thinking puts me out of the present moment a lot of times. Like I've been struggling with like sleeping properly for like the last 3 years, and one of the main problems is that like when I go into bed, my mind just jumps to different ideas I have. So like I think I'm a bit too creative, in the sense that I have so many things I want to do and learn, and I can't control all of it, and there's so much to learn, and I might die tomorrow, so I can't learn all of it. And so when I go to sleep, I'm just constantly still thinking about different ideas I could do. And then I'm like, oh, I've got this new business idea, I need to write it down. So I go to my phone and write it down, I go back to bed, and I think about it again, still. And it just keeps on coming, and then like I can't sleep. Like the other day, like only like 2 days ago, like I couldn't sleep until like 6 a.m. because the entire time I was just like thinking about different ways I could like do this content or whatever. And like if you notice the way that I speak right now, I speed up like really fast out of nowhere because I get really excited about it. And then like that, I've been trying to like really control it to like slow it down, like just get my thoughts slowly out. But it's like, it is really like hard for me to just like calm down, be in the present moment, and not think about different things all the time. That's what I've been really struggling with. But then during that struggle, one of the ways I found to like resolve it in a sense is like, I was just scrolling on my phone, and then I came across this like post that was talking about like the detachment. Like how meditation is all about detaching from your thoughts and realizing that you're not your thoughts and all that stuff. And I tried it in bed, and then like in that moment it clicked, and I realized that I wasn't my thoughts, and I noticed that I was an observer. I was just consciousness and all that stuff. And then that like reshaped it, and then for the next like 3-4 days I could sleep perfectly because I'll just be like, I'll just detach from my thoughts and it goes away. But then now, like I think that was like 3 weeks ago, but then now I'm trying to go back to it, and I can't reach that like awareness. I've noticed that like I still think that I'm my thoughts. Like I know that I'm not my thoughts, but when I try to detach myself from my thoughts, I can't fully detach. And so I still keep thinking about my thoughts all the time. And so I don't know if that's normal. Like you have that like moment when you realize that, oh, you are not your thoughts, and then you have that like awareness, and that's like a breakthrough moment kind of thing. But then now I can't get back to that awareness of my consciousness. Is that normal?
That's normal. So in the Buddhism stages, there's like a progression where when you're first starting out, your mind is really chaotic. You're attaching to your thoughts. You find it's jumping from this thought to another thought. It's called cognitive fusion. Cognitive fusion.
Cognitive fusion.
Fusion.
Is that like your psychologist?
It's psychology.
Oh, that sounds sick.
Yeah.
Cognitive fusion.
Cognitive fusion.
You're
It's like
too
you're
cognitively
fused
fused.
into your thoughts. You feel like you have the thought, I am worthless. And now you just feel you're actually worthless. Like you have lower mood. But with practicing meditation where you say detaching from your thoughts, now you take a step back and you're reserving, I am having thoughts that I am worthless. So now bringing that distance, it's kind of like you're breaking the fusion of it. So now it's defusing from it.
I've heard about that, where you distance yourself from that.
From that thoughts.
Like, you know Justin Sun? Like one of these guys that we learned from, like this YouTuber kind of thing. He was talking about this idea where like you wanted to detach from your feelings.
Detaching feelings,
So it's a bit different. But like the idea is like you're feeling like you feel tired and so you don't do this.
Yes.
But then maybe like you feel like your higher self should do that. And so you can like you meant to like realize that your feelings aren't really like a command, it's just an indicator. And you don't have to listen to your feelings. You are not tired, you feel tired.
You feel tired,
kind of thing. And that gives you tired thoughts as well in a sense.
Exactly,
And the new thing to like cut that. Oh, sorry.
It's a tissue you get there. It's
a cut that and just like realize that you are not your feelings. It's just there. You don't have to listen to it. And I guess that's in the sense kind of similar. Thank you. Kind of similar to like this cognitive fusion.
It's like just in the language you talk to yourself as well. It's like I'm having these feelings, but I'm feeling. You feel like there's a greater distance now. You're less attaching to it. And so you said you kept practicing that and you had that breakthrough moment.
Like I came out of nowhere, honestly. Like
do you feel like more peaceful afterwards?
Like after that time, the next day when I walk out on the street, I look at people around me and like I don't see them as different anymore. Because what I realized from that is like, if this is consciousness, then this is something that everyone has, and it's the same for everyone. This consciousness thing doesn't have any like morality, any experiences. It's just there, despite whatever age might be, or whatever. And so I realized that like, we are all the same in that sense. That we are all, I'm you, you and me, I'm the world, and that's why we should love everyone, because like you could be them kind of thing. And so from that point on, when I walk outside in the street, I look at people around me, like the faces. Usually I look at them like, oh, I might morally judge them. I might be like, why they're wearing that, or like a little bit weird, a little bit stinky, whatever it may be. But then now I'm like, oh, I could be them, and I just feel so much more peaceful towards them in that sense. Like I feel like I love them in that like very platonic sense. And like now, like it makes sense to me like why everyone says like, oh, you should love everyone because you could be them. Like now, like oh, that's why, because like you could literally be them in that from that consciousness kind of idea. And so that was like a breakthrough, and that's why I got really into like Buddhism now. So like there's some truth to it.
It's like the mind is not attaching to your judgments, preconceptions. It's just still, and you find that stillness is where the peace comes from. Right? So not attaching your thoughts, and so that's like the first step, chaotic mind. Second step, learning to detach. Now the third step is what you've achieved, which is kind of like the peace of mind. Okay, but the fourth step is actually detaching from that feeling of peacefulness of mind. Because now that you achieved that peace of mind, now it's kind of like a drug. You want to get back into it. You want to try and get that peaceful feeling again. And the more you try and chase it, the more anxiety you will feel, and more anxious you try to get back to that state. So the last thing is detaching from that feeling that I will achieve this state, but just saying I will just detach from the knowledge that I might not achieve this state in the near future.
Don't desire
it.
Just try, and whatever happens, happens.
Try whatever
so detach yourself from the consequences. But just try it still. Okay.
It might be a bit harder. It's more advanced. But I would say don't lose hope. If you don't get that feeling again, just keep trying. Like learn to keep detaching. You can also find that you can maybe do something more advanced as well. It's inquiry. Have you heard of Vipassana?
Sorry?
Vipassana. So it's a Pali term. So I can spell it Vipassana. Vipassana. So it's the first step. Meditation, as we all know it, is the easiest one. Is like thinking about your breathing, breathing in and out. That's like the first stage, which is calming.
Just check this recording.
Okay. Which is calming your mind. So now that you calmed your mind, you detach from all your thoughts. The second is start to investigate. Let these thoughts come back in and start to investigate them.
Why these thoughts
occurring. So let's say like you weren't able to achieve that peace of mind, even though you tried to detach from your thoughts. Now you have to investigate why are you so anxious to try to achieve that peace of mind?
Yeah.
Is it another form of detachment now?
Mm.
Maybe you can try letting go of that, see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you start to investigate impermanence.
Mm.
That even though you achieved that peace of mind, you found that it was impermanent, it went away again.
Mm.
But then again, you can keep practicing, it can come back up again.
Yeah.
And you said you experienced the ego death, so that's
Yeah.
inquiring into what's called non-self.
Yeah.
Defining that you're
not like
being,
someone.
yeah, it's not substantial.
Yeah.
It's so many different conditions
Yeah.
coming together.
It's just like your environment and your body that you're placed in.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
You remove one and then you're not here anymore.
Yeah.
This you that you call yourself is actually made up of
Everyone.
billions of non-yous. If that makes sense, right? This apple,
Yeah.
oh not apple, it's a nectarine. So this nectarine came about because of farmers, earth, soil, water.
Mm.
If you say which part of this makes it a nectarine, you
Okay.
can't really name a single part. You say the skin, right? But the skin, what is that made of? Atoms. And where does the skin come from? It comes from the soil,
Mm.
right? You can see in the nectarine there's soil, there's earth, there's farmers in it. You take away one of those, then this nectarine would be here as a composite that you're holding in your hand.
Mm.
So it's one of the more harder concepts to grasp, that everything is basically nothing, right?
I don't see how that. I kind of get what you mean by
Yeah.
like a nectarine or whatever the thing is composed of everything that made
Yes.
up of it, and so if you take one out, that would not make it what it is beyond like the name, right?
Beyond the name,
Beyond the name, just what it is. But then how does that then lead to the idea that everything is nothing? But what you say?
Everything is nothing because everything is made up of everything else.
Everything else.
Everything else. And so the nothingness here doesn't mean like a void
Yeah.
or like it doesn't exist. That's not what it means.
Okay.
It's just that inherently it's emptiness. Right? The emptiness of self. That makes sense. So if you think of a car,
Mhm.
you say which part of this car makes it a car?
Yeah, you can't.
You can't-
It's like you say everything.
Yeah, you just point to the windows, but that's a window.
Yeah.
And what part? How is the window part of like makes it a car? You can't. It has to be the window, engine, everything
Everything formed together in
formed
that
together,
structure.
and then you call it a car.
Yeah.
But technically, it doesn't even have to be called a car. If someone in the past called it like a table, for example,
It'll still be that.
yes, now you're calling it a table but not a car.
The label doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It's just there as a concept. Like
It's a
so whether or
concept.
not you put a label on it, it's still
yeah,
there.
yeah.
But then how does that lead to?
So the car itself, it's in itself. There's no part of it that makes it a car. It's everything combined together that makes it a car.
I get that.
Yeah. So in a way, that means like yourself. When you think about yourself, there's no inherent self in it because this self is part of many things coming together.
Yeah.
So the emptiness here is emptiness of self, no self,
Mm.
one self. Yeah.
Like no singular.
No singular thing. Yeah.
We are just everything because we are here because of my parents, and then
Mhm.
I'm here because I can touch this table because the table is here.
Yeah.
And so I'm constantly in flux with my environment. And so if that is who I am, then my normal idea of who I am as this body is not correct because to be who I am, I need to be in everything.
So you can think of a human actually. It's called the five aggregates.
Yeah.
They're made up of physical body, so skin, the senses, and then you're made up of perception. So perception allows you to see, oh, this is red, or I'm holding it, this is round, this is heavy. That's perceptions. Then there's feelings. Feelings is, I like the way this feels, or this will taste nice if I eat it.
Yeah.
So it's like positive, negative, and neutral
You feel like,
feelings.
yeah.
It's a kind of like a
Moral.
feeling you attach to anything, to like the sense.
Yeah.
So your body, physical body, comes into contact with this nectarine.
Mm-hmm.
You now have a perception of this nectarine. It's red, it's round.
You're aware that it's there.
Yeah, you're aware
Yeah.
it's their perception. So it's like a judgment.
Yeah. Not, I won't say judgment yet, right? Isn't judgment?
Judgment may be too much. It's more kind of like
You just-
recognition.
Yeah.
Recognition.
You're just there.
Yeah.
And then the feelings give it judgment.
Yeah, the feelings then become like, this will taste nice.
Yeah.
It's kind of automatic. And the fourth one is mental formation. So you can
Okay.
think of this as habits or ways of thinking, like habit loops.
Okay.
And this is based on past interactions. So based on past interaction with this nectarine, I know I will like it, so now I want to eat it. I want to consume it.
Yeah.
It's a loop now.
Okay.
And the last thing is consciousness. And consciousness is the field in which all the other attributes come together.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
if you don't have it, then you can't.
There's no awareness of it.
Yeah. But then wouldn't I would say that then wouldn't yeah. But then like the perception is kind of the awareness.
In a way.
Right.
But perception is part of consciousness. So each of these 5 things are all interrelated to each other.
Yeah. Yeah. With the physical body though, when you say physical body, you don't mean the senses because that's perception, right?
Physical body,
It's just like
perception. So having a physical body then gives rise to perception, which is like where the senses, as you said, they interact
your
with each other.
nerves or whatever.
Yeah.
And then consciousness is just this
Field of awareness.
that then allows you to then have the physical body and have that perception and then have the moral judgment and then have that mental habit kind of thing. Okay. That kind of makes sense.
It's like a topic that's studied in Buddhist philosophy. Like, it's a very complex way of thinking of. Basically, humans are just these 5 things coming together.
Can it be anything else? Wait, I'm trying to see. Does that make sense to me?
So, breaking it down very simply, we are body plus mind. The body is physical body, but the mind can be the 4 things: perception, mental formations, feelings, and consciousness.
Categorizing it,
Yeah, it's categorizing. It's kind of, but they're not like separate things. They're all related to each other.
Interrelated, yeah. Okay. Very cool.
So during my master's Dharma talk, he was talking about how you have senses, like your eye sense, nose sense, ear sense,
5 senses.
5 senses. It comes into contact with an object from the outside world.
Yeah.
So the sight of this, or the smell of it, or the feeling of it, or the taste of it, comes into contact with the respective sense that you have.
Yeah.
So let's say the sight of this comes into contact with my eye sense,
Yeah.
right? So it's making contact with the physical part, the physical body part, my eyes. Yeah. And because my eyes has a consciousness attached to it
that's
as
how it
well,
runs.
then becomes aware of it.
Yeah.
But now that it's become aware of it, there's now like an image of that in my consciousness that gives rise to perception. I perceive this round nectarine that's red, right?
Well, that makes sense because of like I learned in science briefly like what you see is like it's meant to be like it's like an upside down image.
In a way, yeah, the red.
But then your mind swaps
it around to the right
and so
round.
that kind of makes sense in what you're saying then.
Yeah.
Because then like your physical body sees it in upside down, but then your consciousness or your perception reorients.
Reorient it.
In a
Yeah,
sense.
it's a really strange phenomenon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it gives rise to feeling tone. It could be neutral, it's like I never had this, so I don't really know how to feel about it.
Yeah.
It could be, oh, I love nectarines, or it could be, I hate nectarines. Okay, and based on that feeling, it gives rise to the mental formations now. Either I just put it down, I don't want to have it, or now I want to eat it now.
Yeah.
So you can think of mental formation as kind of like the actions that result from the feelings, right? Or the words you say.
Yeah.
So I can say, I hate this,
Yeah.
I love this, I'm indifferent to it. That's the mental formations. And that's like that's all 5 working in tandem.
Aggregates.
And that's how we interact with the world. All 5 of these.
So yeah. Yeah, I feel this is why I feel like Buddhism is such a more like truthful religion and all this out there. Like I feel like if you have this basis of understanding, when you go into like scientific fields like Western science and all that stuff, how are not more like I feel like wouldn't more scientists realize that like Buddhism already kind of like is doing a science of sorts?
Yeah.
And so if that's the case, then why isn't it more like popularized to me? Like I'm just giving ideas out there, like opinions, thoughts. Like I feel like you know what I mean? Like it's so like this is like basically like science in a sense. You're like seeing how you can figure it out. And I feel like that would then go into fields of like science and stuff as well, kind of thing. Like I don't know, is that like
In a way, I feel like it's kind of why the Christian has become, in the past, really tied to like power, political dominance
Yeah.
regimes.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of because of that long history
Yeah.
of just dominating and spilling a lot of blood.
Yeah.
It's now become so integrated into society,
Yeah.
and yeah, I think it's just history
Yeah.
that's made Christianity why it's so strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. It's pretty cool. In psychology then, do you does your basis of Buddhism help you understand psychological concepts a lot easier?
Especially
I feel like it would, right?
the conditioning.
Yeah.
You know, the classical conditioning
Yeah.
where you like ring a bell and
And then the Pavlov's law
yeah,
comes.
that's like already kind of talked
In
about
Buddhism,
in Buddhism,
right?
where you
Yeah.
have the habit loops and like
Yeah.
mental formation, like the 5 steps I just
Yeah.
talked to you about. That's conditioning right there.
Yeah, and so I'm like, it's already predicting, it's already doing what science has yet to call classical conditioning.
Yeah. It's just because it's just Western. They actually tested on like dogs and animals and people. And whereas in Buddhism it's kind of like very like theoretical, like just experimentation.
Yeah.
And the Buddha just kind of
What works, works. You don't have to like
reason with it. Yeah.
kill dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting.
It's kind of like Western brings like the empirical, like the evidence they can see and touch
Yeah.
and talk about.
Yeah.
Whereas in Buddhism is kind of more like
Or theoretical.
more theoretical reasoning, philosophical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buddhism is like really philosophical.
Very, very philosophical.
Like, it makes, like I heard about this quote like, desire is the root of all suffering. I don't know if it's from Buddhism, but I said it was from Buddhism, but I don't know if...
It's one of the it's in Buddhism says it's one of the root causes.
Really?
Of suffering.
Not the main root?
Not the main one.
To me, I thought it was the main root, and it makes sense to me. Like, whatever suffering you have, if you're saying impermanence, you desire it to be permanent. And so that is like the root. If grief and death, you desire to live long, you desire to not have the loved one taken away. So that's still desire. And so to me, it seems like desire is the root of all suffering.
It's one of them, but it's
Yeah.
not the root, the
Wait,
deepest
so what
one.
is the root?
It's the ignorance of the truth,
The self?
ignorance of impermanence, ignorance of non-self, ignorance of suffering. The three marks of existence.
So it's the ignorance rather than the desire.
Yeah.
Wait.
The desire is just one of the roots,
Root from
more
there.
shallow roots, but the deeper root is ignorance.
Wait, let me conceptualize that in my mind right now. So
Yeah.
you're saying the fact that you're ignorant of that stuff is why.
You have the desire.
But then can't desire come before that? Like, you desire. Hold on, you desire. Let's say you desire a loved one to stay alive. You get suffering because of that. Whereas if you were ignorant of the fact that they can die.
Okay.
Wait, I can't
So here's the
imagine
thing.
it right
Here's the
now.
thing. We're humans, right?
Yeah.
We cannot fully remove desire. Well, we can try to, and the people who really train hard are the ones perhaps they can. They don't experience desires anymore.
Yeah.
But talking about even as monks, we all have desires. We desire for comfort, for food, for drink.
Yeah, you can't escape it.
You can't escape the desire.
Yeah.
So, of course, desire is a root cause of suffering, right? You thirst for things, you're hungry for things, then you suffer when you can't get it,
Yeah.
right? But you can still, in a way, understand more about the desire. Where does it come from? And that's where the ignorance part comes in. If you can understand the source of this desire, right, it's because of the impermanence, of the suffering, and the non-self, then you can transform that desire, and you can better be able to manage it. But if you were ignorant, you wouldn't know where does this desire come from. You just start operating based on desires only, right? You can't there's no path of transformations. You don't know what that is.
Yeah.
So now you're just surviving basically. You're just working on your base instincts.
Yeah.
But with the ignorance cleared, you'll know like the root cause of everything in this world is not knowing that things are impermanent, not knowing that there is no self here, not knowing that the suffering in this world it comes in many forms. So not knowing these three things, doesn't allow you to transform the desire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in a way, what I'm trying to say is, everyone experiences desire.
Yeah.
It's a cause of suffering, but the deeper root that allows you / doesn't allow you to change the suffering, that desire comes from the ignorance. That's a deeper one. Hopefully that makes sense. It's a lot to unpack. Yeah.
I feel like it's still not like 100% clear
yeah.
cut for me, but I kind of get what you're saying. Like I just can't. For some reason I can't imagine it. I can't wrap my head around the idea that like it's the deeper root.
Yeah.
You're ignorant of that desire. You can't change it.
Yeah, you don't know how to change it. You just basically just living based on that.
But then let's say you were aware of that desire.
Then you're not ignorant.
Aware of that desire and aware that where does that desire come from. That's what I'm trying to talk about. Ignorance as to the causes of desire. That's a deeper one.
But then let's say I'm aware of my desires. Let's say right now I'm aware that I am desiring my loved one to stay alive.
Yes.
When I should, and that will lead to my suffering. But if I cut it off at the root of my desire, which is that it's a desire, if I cut it off there, I'm like, okay, I shouldn't desire that, then I wouldn't have as much suffering.
So here, it's not about cutting it off.
Yeah.
Because you still have the desire.
You still have it.
Right?
But
when it does happen,
attach.
You don't suffer as much.
Yeah.
Or your suffering will be much less than if you were to keep attaching to that desire. So you can think of it as there's suffering is like 2 arrows.
Yeah.
The first arrow that hits you is unavoidable. Right? Someone you love dies, pain and grief.
Yeah.
That's normal.
Yeah.
The second arrow is like when you take that arrow and then stab it in yourself again. And now because you're ruminating about it, you're thinking, why didn't they just, why this, why that? I just wish they would just live forever.
Yeah.
And you just come stuck in those mental loops, you can't move on from that event. You just wish they were still alive.
Yeah.
And now that suffering is more prolonged.
Yeah.
You had the initial pain, but now you're prolonging that pain, you're suffering now by just keeping that arrow within you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it may be harder or easier for someone to take out that second arrow to transform it.
Because they have the knowledge.
They have the knowledge, but if you have the knowledge of the impermanence, things are impermanent. There's like oneself. You know that they're just because they're not here anymore doesn't mean that they're just physically gone, but perhaps they reincarnated into like another being, right?
That part I get skeptical.
Okay, it's a bit skeptical, but you can think of them passing on to a different form. Now they're living in your memories, right?
Người ta in mệnh về trước, có thể
Do you have to go there?
Not really. We can say how.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's more about the practice, I would say. If you're just theoretical, just think about it theoretically. It can get a bit weird. Like, but you think about how it just thinking about impermanence every day, that nothing in this world will last.
Oh, wait. No, what? Wait. You see the connection? You know what I say every day?
What?
I could die tomorrow.
Yeah.
I feel like that links in, like for me, a motto that I've been going around living life is like, I could die tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so I don't get attached to like, waiting for the future or like being out of time. Because a tree could fall on my head at any moment and I wouldn't know kind of thing. So that's how I've been living my life recently, just like having that. And so would that be in a form like acknowledgement of impermanence, right?
Exactly, and
in a
Is
sense.
it possible to be attached?
You want to see inside?
Okay.
Yeah.
But is it possible to be attached to the idea of you're gonna die tomorrow?
Attached to the idea you're going to die tomorrow. Attached to the idea. Another level of attachment you can think about is there are harmful attachments and there's also good attachments. So for me, becoming a Buddhist monk, that's also attaching to the idea of being a monk.
Yeah.
But it's an attachment towards self-liberation, trying to working on my own suffering, training my mind. So that's a good attachment. Why do you attach to studies? Why do you attach to your work? Right? You're trying to improve yourself, trying to carve your own path in a way.
Yeah.
So that's the good attachments, right? But then you don't attach to that attachment, right? Like just because I study really, really well, sometimes things can change. I might not be able to study anymore.
Yeah.
Right? That's like the even more complex way of thinking about it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go too deep into the weeds here, but just think about as there's good attachments and there's bad attachments as well.
Yeah.
So you can attach to the idea of impermanence,
Mm.
realizing that every day could be your last.
Yeah.
Even though you could sleep soundly tonight, there's no guarantee you will wake up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good thing you mentioned as well, because even in Buddhism they teach us there's good attachment and bad attachment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good desire, bad desires.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. In that aspect, wouldn't it also matter about the consequences about those end desires? Let's say, given the example you said before about like attaching yourself to studying.
Yeah.
So you attach yourself to studying because you want to make that career, you want to do that, but then all your reasons why you want to do studying, like let's say study to get a career, good money,
Yeah.
let's say, and you reach a shit money, and so that would be like a bad desire in a sense if you are only using that money just to have money.
Just to have money, just to have more possessions, material wealth.
Then
Yeah.
that would be like, even though your attachment is good here, it leads the whole reason for that initial studying thing is not good. And so then that would then make that attachment seemingly good turn into bad attachment. Does that make sense?
Cool.
Like, is that what about it?
So yeah, so if you're just only studying, I mean study in itself, if you think just the action within itself, it can be a good attachment, right? But down the line, what are you using that study for? That can only be determined once you reach that point. Like it's thinking about each present moment. So now that you're in year 12 or you reach that career goal,
Yeah.
what are you now doing with that career as a result of your study? It could have been a good attachment at the start, right? You're studying, you're working really hard, right? Made yourself proud, made your parents proud. Now you're doing that career, what are you doing now? If you decide now, just it was all meant for like material wealth, getting really rich,
Yeah.
and now that in that moment it becomes like that bad attachment. But it doesn't suddenly negate what you did in the past, if that makes sense. It's kind of you considering present moment, yeah.
It's like past and future isn't a thing. It's
Yeah.
only the present moment that's a thing.
Yeah, yeah. The past can inform what you're doing now in the present, but what you do in the present is what's actually important, because then that will then determine your future. This present moment then becomes the past for that future moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah. But it's interesting. Yeah.
So then whatever you attach yourself to, it may be good in the beginning,
Yeah.
but the beginning is just the present.
Present.
And it's just always like in the present.
Yeah.
And so as long as like practically, I guess how I would use this then is like, okay, if I'm attaching myself, let's say, to like this career, this whole like idea of saving, of spreading the world, if I attach myself to that idea, and then to achieve that I need to do all these things, like learning about different stuff, studying all this stuff, then I should attach myself to these different studying stuff, and then I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, you're taking, so you're attaching your, so at the start you had the attachment to study for a good reason,
Yeah.
right? But then you said, as you go along that journey,
Yeah.
you
It's like-
change your attachment to like something different, is that what you're saying?
I'm not sure. I think I was just trying to see like I was trying to see theoretically
Yeah.
how can we understand good and bad attachment with what you were saying, telling me. Like I was trying to build a more like I guess I'm trying to like test that idea, good and bad attachments, and how can I bring that to my own life? Like how practical is that? And I was trying to see if it's practical, and I can't see the practical way to use it right now.
Okay, so number one, think about the intention.
Yeah.
What is the intention of this
Yeah.
act that you're doing? Is it for helping others? Is it for improving your way of life, bring benefit to others?
Yeah.
Do you think that's a kind of a good intention, leading to a good attachment? If you're just thinking at the start, it's just to make more money for money's sake, becoming rich, just become more wealthy, and then in a way that can just be, I think of like a bad intention,
Yeah.
in a way. But the thing is, even if you do, some people can have for more wealth, but it's also important is like what are the actions you take to try and gain that wealth, right? If you just have a really good career, you help a lot of people, you have a lot of wealth, that's not inherently bad in itself.
Yeah.
you can then become more charitable, give away some of that to the people who are less fortunate,
Yeah.
right? But if we try and gain that money through like very like fraudulent means, like trying like scamming people, very harmful ways, like exploiting others,
Yeah.
then that act of gaining wealth, there's like a good and a bad way of trying to gain wealth.
Yeah.
So gaining wealth itself is not bad, I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Just to clarify that.
Yeah, it's depends on what you use it for and how you got there in the first place.
Yeah.
And whether or not it goes against some of like your moral principles nowadays. Okay. Then good and bad is like, is there like, do you learn about like a hierarchy of good stuff and bad stuff? Like what is the really good stuff? Like what is the top tier good stuff and what's like the top tier bad stuff? You know what I mean? Is that like a thing to learn? Or that's not really relevant?
I think the hierarchy is just, I don't think there is a hierarchy. Yeah. It's just dependent on the severity of your actions, right? If you step on an ant, that's not as severe as like killing a person. Even though they're
Both lives.
breaking the first precept, do not harm, but the consequence, killing a human who has like, is much more serious than killing, because now you're killing someone who had a lot of potential, memories, attachments to other people. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So then, in the Buddhist teachings, do they like value human life objectively more than ants' life, but subjectively more?
Value more.
Are humans put on a higher value than other animals and insects?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Objectively saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Buddhism is a very kind of human-oriented way, like philosophy. Like we treat all life as precious, right? But the consequences for human is much greater because humans are the ones who have greater capacity to achieve enlightenment because of a greater consciousness. But we're also the most capable of most evil and atrocious acts as well. Yeah. It's if you think about it more theoretical, more abstract, if you've heard of samsara, it's like 6 realms.
Heard of something like that?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's like during the time of Buddha, it was like devas or God's realm.
Yeah.
So these beings experience a lot of pleasure, no pain at all.
Yeah.
But because they only know pleasure, they are not enlightened. They attach to that, and so they can easily drop back down to the other 5 realms. The next one is, I think, human realm.
Yeah.
So here is kind of like the purgatory.
Purgatory.
You have the greatest potential for enlightenment, right? To break out of this samsara cycle. We can also potential to commit really bad things like genocide, war. Yeah. And you can go down to the even lower realms. Yeah. So then there's the animal realm. Yeah. Right? Animals, very low capacity for enlightenment, acting mostly on base instincts. Right? You have the hell realm. These are what happens to people who commit atrocities, like really bad acts, spill a lot of blood. Right? This is a very violent realm. Yeah. Right? Second one is hungry ghost realm.
It sounds like a very interesting name.
Yeah, hungry ghost realm. These are. So if hell realm is for people who are extremely violent and kill people, hungry ghost realm is for extremely greedy people. So people who don't know, like stop, like are not satisfied. They're always trying to get more wealth, exploiting others, scamming other people. So the ghosts here are characterized by big stomachs but thin necks. Like they're trying to consume, but they're never satisfied because they can't go down. But they're so hungry, right? So they keep stuffing themselves, but to no avail. It's bottomless desire. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So we're going.
Last one.
Oh, there's more.
Last one. Yeah. 6. And then the last one is Arahat. So a step below Buddha. So Buddha is outside the cycle, full enlightenment, no more attachments. But Arahat is people who are close to that. They are close to cutting off all attachments. They have high spiritual training, and they're just very close to breaking out of the cycle. So these 6 realms here, we don't have to think of them as like some separate realm that we get born into, like it's like a literal place called hell where it's like fire everywhere. Yeah. But it talks about present moment in this world right now can be thought of as these 6 realms in one. There's people who are living really rich lives, but they're never satisfied. They're not happy with themselves.
Yeah.
Right? That's a demons, it's the world realm. Right? People who have riches, that have comfort, but they don't feel spiritually fulfilled. Right? You can see how some celebrities, a lot of money, but see like their problems with drugs. They seem to get in a lot of scandals. They seem to be stressed about like a lot of things.
Yeah.
So they're still stuck in the suffering cycle. Right? Humans are kind of like most ordinary people. That's what we're talking about. Like high capacity, not rich but not really poor.
Yeah.
Right? Then you have hungry ghosts, which are kind of like the people who. It's very hard to explain, but it's kind of like people who desire a lot but never satisfied. So you can still, there's like some overlap between the realms as well. So you can be a god, but you can also be a hungry ghost at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's animals, of course.
People on base instincts.
Yes, instincts.
So would you say a baby is an animal in that realm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a way. Every one of us can inhabit one of these 6 realms at any time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could be also the hell realm. This is like great suffering. We like, let's say we killed someone. Now we think of our mind as like hell. We feel a lot of guilt. People are now after us. Police are now after us. There's like no peace of mind anymore. It's like broken. Yeah.
So then this realm, is it all like a mental realm?
Mental realm.
Like metaphorical.
Metaphorical.
Yeah, but it's not like judging like objective reality in a sense.
Yeah.
It's just like in your head. How do you view yourself? Do you view yourself as hungry? Like you always
How are you feeling? It's
like your mind habits. Like the what do you call it? You got like body, feeling, it's like perception, feeling, and then habits.
Yeah.
Would you say like that's the habit part?
Yeah. It's like people. If you see people on the road, there's some people who seem to get really angry very easily, get into road rage extremely quickly.
Yeah.
You can think of those people as kind of like being in the hell realm. That's how their mind is like predisposed towards, just really reactive, get really violent and angry very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, if you do psychology, right?
Yeah.
Then do you see like connection between like the psychological like theories and like conditions in connection to like what you know about the realm? Do you see any connection when you do that?
Yeah, I do see. It all comes down really to like, I feel like the 6 realms maybe to labeling of people.
Yeah.
So that's like one aspect where the science is really nice. It's like it talks about more process,
everything.
like process, the conditioning cycles, and that's more applicable to everyone than you just describe them as like you're in the hell realm right now. It's kind of a big stigmatizing in a way, but there is some connection, and I think there is some insights you can get from either one.
Yeah.
You get,
Would you say that psychology gives that idea a much more like broader, like condensed, like practical, usable format?
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty cool. Wait, so this story, or this
Samsara, yeah.
Samsara realm, is that part of Buddhism or is that part of Hinduism?
Part of Buddhism.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was like a story created by
Just the Buddha, when he observed.
Buddha.
Yeah, he observed these 6 realms that
Okay.
we can inhabit at any time.
Yeah.
I think just during that time as well, it was very uncivilized. It was very, a lot of, even today, India is very poor, but back then it was even worse with like without modernization, not many laws. So you witnessed a lot of really like bare acts of cruelty, like wars, people fighting, a lot of suffering, starvation.
Yeah.
And so each of these realms are like kind of based on his own personal experience, what he sees people were going through at that time.
Yeah.
Like they had kings and Brahmins, so like very rich people. They seem to live very rich lives, but they're still undergoing suffering.
And that's what he saw.
Yeah.
Random thought. Is Buddha verified historically as an actual person?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's historical like artifacts of like body pieces of his like bones belonging to the Sakya family. Evidence of it. So Sakya was they were like a ruling family over North India. What's like now called modern day Nepal. That's where he was born. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. very long time ago.
What's the timeline of this? Is this like
So
600 years before Christ? You said.
2000. So from now, it's minus 2,560 years. So you take 2,560 minus 2025, you kind of get like that timeline before Christ.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it was around 600.
Yeah.
560 before Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so. Okay. That's interesting. Just to get like a
Yeah.
timeline understanding of how.
Yeah, and you can see if you read the history, like even the modern day sites in India right now,
Yeah.
like Lumbini Park where he was born, Bodh Gaya, which was there was a rich merchant called Anathapindika. He actually built like a monastery for the Buddha to reside in when he was retreating during the rainy season, to stay in one place, all the monks. So he built that whole like monastery for him to stay before the Buddha would move on after the rainy season,
Yeah.
traveling around India giving his teachings. Yeah, there's like modern historical sites
Yeah.
in India.
That like proves that he's actually a real
Yeah.
person. Yeah.
And one last thing I want to say, like the picture of the Buddha you see depicted here,
Yeah.
we don't actually really know if he looks like that. It's
Okay.
more artistic depictions, because during the time of the Buddha, it was actually kind of taboo to draw and depict him in like a human form.
Yeah.
But they use symbols to represent him. So in the past, they actually used like the Bodhi tree leaf, the leaf gave order. So at the front we have like these trees where it's kind of heart-shaped leaves,
Yeah.
and those will be used to represent him, because that was the tree he sat under to meditate for 49 days and attain enlightenment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about the fat Buddha?
Fat Buddha. So that we call it a happy Buddha. That's meant to represent future Buddha that will come in the future to be
Awesome.
in a metaphorical sense. Yeah.
4%?
So this is the Buddha in the past, and the one who will be a Buddha in the future is represented by Yinak, which is happy Buddha. So after the Buddha's passing, there is now a lot of suffering in the world. It's kind of keep building up and up.
Yeah.
And the fat Buddha is meant to represent, he becomes fat because he absorbs all that suffering in the world, and he's smiling because he's taking all of it and he's still happy. Yeah, that's what it's meant to represent. Yeah.
So when you say like he comes back, is that like, you say metaphorically, but what does that mean metaphorically though? Like.
So Buddha, we think it's only one Buddha, but for the Buddha, he saw like past lives, like the past. This is getting very abstract.
Theoretical? Yeah.
Yeah. So he saw Buddhas in the past before him in different lifetimes, and he saw Buddhas in the future as well. Because of how enlightened he was able to see everything.
Yeah.
Right? So he's meant to Buddha's meant to represent all seeing, all enlightenment outside the cycle of suffering. And he saw that one of the future Buddhas, the more upcoming one, is Yinak, the happy Buddha. Yeah.
So is that like a literal someone's gonna be born becoming the fat Buddha? No, right?
No. It's just
saying
we don't
that-
know what that Buddha will look like, but the representation is that it will be someone who can absorb all the suffering in the world and transform it and still be happy. Yeah.
Okay.
So even this Buddha is not 100%. Is this exactly the Buddha? No, we're not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not sure what the fat Buddha will look like, whether it will be fat or not. But it's kind of like metaphorical representation. Yeah.
So is he saying like one person will come out, or is he saying like endlessly certain people will arrive that
Certainly.
can? Okay.
Like even the Dalai Lama,
what is that about?
Tibetan Buddhism, they believe that Dalai Lama is a representation of the Buddha that's reincarnated every time. So it's like, I think it's the 13th Dalai Lama. So the Dalai Lamas before were his past lives, and that's kind of like that's what they believe is he was the actual Buddha who's reborn each and every time.
Oh wait, so you got like, so do you believe that, or is that like a different sector?
It's like a different sector.
Okay.
It's been 2,600 years ago. There was only one way of thinking about Buddhism.
Yeah.
But as time has gone, it's kind of fractured into multiple. There's like Tibetan Buddhism. There's Buddhism as it's practiced in China, Japan, and Korea.
Yeah.
And that's like north. And the south, which is in Vietnam, Myanmar, Burma.
Oh, so it's different.
Yeah, it's like different. They take different parts of historical Buddhism and make it their own. And so we follow the Mahayana, which is the Buddhism that was passed to the south into Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, and Thailand's like they practice Buddhism there. That's like their main religion. Yeah. So Mahayana just means they believe all sentient beings are capable of enlightenment, even lay people. So you don't have to be a monk to experience what enlightenment is. Like everyone can be in a bigger vehicle. Like Mahayana means great vehicle. Everyone can be together to be enlightened. But in Theravada, which is practiced in
China, Japan.
Sorry, Mahayana is north. So that's China, Vietnam, Japan, and Korea. That's Mahayana.
China, Vietnam. Okay.
Yeah, so that's the north. And the south is like Thailand, India, Myanmar. That's Theravada, so south. Sorry, so I had it opposite way around. So the south is Theravada, and Theravada means small vehicle. They say that they practice the original Buddhist teachings. That we have to be a monk, you have to be someone who's cut their hair and wear the robes to be enlightened. Lay people cannot be monks. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's small vehicle and big vehicle.
Small vehicle, big vehicle.
Vietnam, China, Korea, they're
Japan.
all Japan.
Big vehicle.
All big vehicle, and then India, and
Thailand, Myanmar.
small vehicle.
Small
and then
vehicle.
what about the Tibetan Dalai Lama thing?
Tibetan is like a separate of its own.
Completely separate.
Completely separate.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in there, he reincarnates.
Yeah. So I'm very familiar with Mahayana, but Tibetan, which is supposed to be the original birthplace of the Buddha, it's really opposite to what our customs. Yeah.
So
There's a lot to learn about.
Yeah.
So many complexities.
Okay.
Like in the Tibetan, they chant all like in their throat. It's like really
What?
deep. It's like the chanting. You know how it's like they use verse singing. It's like that's how they chant.
So growly.
Very growly. Yeah.
Okay. And then with the reincarnation of the Dalai Lama, just curious, is it like from one lineage that just goes down, or is it like let's say the Dalai Lama had a kid?
Yeah.
Is he going to be next to the Dalai Lama? Or
No, so
It's
the
not
Dalai
right.
Lama cannot have a kid. So I'm actually really curious as to how they determine. So apparently they have some ritual where they pick like several children, but don't trust me, I have to look it up again because I'm not familiar with this. But they pick children who they believe will be the next Dalai Lama. You know, actually China believes it as well. That's why they've tried to take over Tibet as well to control the Dalai Lama, because they don't want the next Dalai Lama to be reincarnated as by themselves. They want to indoctrinate this Dalai Lama into their communist party. It's really weird and complex. Yeah.
Interesting. So the religion is merging with politics and everything again.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Definitely some power play is going to be happening like that.
That's why the Lama has been like going around the world a lot and not staying in Tibet.
Oh.
Yeah, he's been exiled.
Wait, from Tibet?
Tibet, yeah.
Oh wait, what?
Yeah.
Why?
Because of China, because they have like soldiers and troops over there trying to
Capture him.
like control that country. And so he doesn't feel it's safe to stay there. That's why he's exiled himself from there.
He exiled himself from there.
Yeah, there's a whole history of it.
Damn.
You can read about it. It's really interesting.
That's pretty cool. It's like a new perspective on
Like, it's not cool, but it's like
it's
interesting.
Objectively, it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
But, hey, I've never heard of like a situation like that
Yeah.
before. Wow. So they're running around chasing the prophecy, the prophet child.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, like
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of
Or
like
trying
that.
to kill the chosen one.
Yeah.
Damn.
Alright. Shall
That's
we?
interesting. Yeah, we've got a day.
I feel like I talk a lot of things with you.
You talk about a lot of
Some
stuff.
time
Yeah.
to digest it. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good talk.
But anyway, just start really simple. Just look at Plum Village.
Yeah.
And I think the Buddha was like, you can ask me questions about where did the universe originate, where did it come from.
Yeah.
I can entertain those questions, but the most important question is how do we
Actually apply it.
apply it to make our lives less feel suffering? How to deal with suffering much
Yeah.
better? Yeah, live intentionally. That's it.
So
That's
in,
all
a,
the teachings
so in
are.
a sense, Buddhism is like practical philosophy.
Practical philosophy. Yeah. Like he's like, if someone shoots you an arrow, you don't ask like, where does arrow come from? What's arrow made of? You're trying to get it out of yourself first, and that's Buddhism. Trying to get yourself out of the suffering.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the arrow analogy.
Yeah. There you go.
I understand it really quickly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Tay.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Also,
I love the conversation we had. It's not often to have like teachers talk so much English. These topics. Yeah, it's mostly just Vietnamese. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see many people around my age like talking about Buddhism that much. It's all just like, or just like go, I don't know, like partying and stuff like that, I guess.
Yeah. You asked some really interesting like questions.